Hey there, Wargamers, and welcome back to another Wargames Delivered video. Be sure to visit us at wargamesdelivered.com to get the paint, miniatures, and supplies used in this video, and also to refer a friend. We have a program going right now where if you refer a friend, you guys both get a $10 coupon, and with that, let's get into the video. In this video, we will be painting a Redcap from the game Malifaux. This little guy is part of the Neverborn faction and acts as a cheap but effective distraction unit in the game. And we will start off here with a metallic using plate mail metal and just cover the entirety of the blade of his scythe with 2 thin coats. Whenever you start with a zenithal highlight like we're doing here, always have some matte white handy as well to clean up any mistakes before switching over to the next step. Next up, we'll switch over to a wash for just a moment using dark tone and cover the exact same area we covered with the plate mail metal. Use your brush to move the wash into the recesses and give this step about 20 minutes to dry. Now that that's dry, we will switch over to the Speedpaint line for the majority of the video here using Blood Red and Speedpaint Medium at a 1:1 ratio. Paint one consistent layer across the entirety of the magical aura on the mini, and a bit of the scythe blade as well that we painted earlier. You can use a larger brush than I did in this video. Due to the size of the mini, I used a smaller brush for more control around other areas of the model, but if you work better with a larger brush, you can absolutely switch over to one of those for this step. I just wanted to take a second here to remind everyone that we have a giveaway attached to this video in the top link of the description. Be sure to refer a friend and get 5 free entries in the giveaway, plus a $10 discount code on our website. And as you can kind of tell, this is going to be the largest step in this video, so just take your time with this. Make sure you have a good mix of Speedpaint Medium to Blood Red so you have some more drying time with the Speedpaint. That really helps with consistency across your coverage. Next up, we will move over to the wooden bits of the model here, starting out with hardened leather. We're going to paint the arms, fingers, and the single leg that's poking out with this color. And with this step, I want these paints to dry as fast as possible so I can move on to the dark wood. So I'm not using any Speedpaint Medium with either of these wood tones. This step can be a little bit trickier due to some of the angles that you have to paint from, but just try to keep your coverage consistent and take your time, and you should come out with a good result. While the hardened leather is drying, we can move over to dark wood and start painting the handle of the scythe. Just be careful around the blade of the scythe and the arms that we painted earlier, and of course all the areas that we haven't painted as well. And with this speed paint, you could actually do 2 thin coats if you'd like to once the first one dries. Depends on how dark you'd like the handle of your scythe here. I just went with 1 coat on my model here, but you can absolutely do 2 if you'd like a darker wood tone on the scythe. Once that is dry, we can move on to painting the cloak of the mini, and for a bit of variation in color and tone from the Blood Red, we're going to switch over to Slaughter Red. Use this to paint the entire cloak and be very careful around the areas we've already painted. Again, if you do make any mistakes, be sure to use some matte white or a light gray to clean up the area, even if it's one you've already painted. Just let that dry and come back to it with the correct color. And just a reminder to any newer people on the channel, we do have giveaways attached to all of our videos, so be sure to check out all of the videos for this week. We will have giveaways attached to all of them. All of our giveaways now end on the Sunday following the week that they premiere. so be sure to look out on our Facebook group for the winner announcement. And once the cloak is covered, we can switch back to Blood Red to paint his hat. You could alternatively use Slaughter Red if you'd like to for this step. It's really up to you. I went with Blood Red just to give it another emphasis on that brighter red, but this step is really up to the painter. And again, with all of your speed paints, treat the drying time like a wash. Give them about 20 minutes before you move on to the next speed paint step. That way they don't blend together too much. With that step finished, we only have a few more details to paint on the mini, so for our final speed paint step, we will switch over to Pallid Bone and cover his head with this paint. Again, take your time around the areas that we've already painted. If you'd like to wait to paint the hat, that could make this step a little bit easier. And from the unit card, it kind of looks like these guys are puppets of some kind, so you could really use Sand Golem or Pallid Bone for this step. I just kind of went with Pallid Bone because it looked to match the unit card a little bit better. Lastly, we will switch over to the Army Painter acrylic line using matte black to cover the eyes of the model. The Redcaps have very nice raised eyes, so they are really good practice if that is a part of the hobby that you struggle with. I'm going to keep it simple here and just cover them with matte black. And with that step finished, all that's left to do on the model is to do a quick varnish step. I recommend an air varnish for speed painted models, and do a quick base on the model. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more tutorial videos. And also be sure to check out the top link in the description for the giveaway listed with this video. Thanks again, guys, and happy wargaming.